Hi everyone, it's Kathy from Bishopstone Yarns, and I would like to welcome everyone here to this little video. My channel is about crafting and what I've been making, crafting life, kind of bit of spinning, knitting, sewing, cross stitch, and I guess anything else that might just pop up. You will find me here in the corner of my studio, and I'm coming to you from Tasmania, which is the little island to the south of Australia. It is the last day of July and we are in winter. It is a little bit cool at the moment in my craft room. The sun doesn't come into this room until kind of the afternoon, really. So it's a little bit cooler in here. It's not really cold. We've got a lovely sunny day outside, but it's still cool. Still quite cold because, you know, I guess us crafting bloggers like to talk about the weather, don't we? I've noticed that kind of like I watch quite a few other crafting podcasts, and we always seem to be talking about the weather and what's happening. And if you want a really good update on the weather and what's been happening here during July, you can go back and have a look at my Tour de Fleece vlogs that I've been doing during the Tour de Fleece during July, because I have started off most of those with a little snippet of the weather in the morning and sometimes in the evening with a lovely sunset, so you can have a little look at the weather if you're that way inclined. So I thought, since it is the last day of July, I thought I had better pop on here and show you what I've been making in July, because believe it or not, even though I have been madly spinning away during July, I actually have done a little bit of crafting as well. And July, being winter here, of course, is a good month for doing lots of crafting and knitting and stuff like that. So I was going to start with this jumper, which is sitting right next to me, and then I've thought, I do not have the pattern with it. For those people who've been watching for a while, well, two things. I'm just doing this back to back with the roundup for my Tour de Fleece. That's why everything looks almost the same. And you'll probably notice that I am sitting in a slightly different angle in my studio because I have moved things around. For those people who haven't seen the spinning video, my youngest son has moved back home, so we have moved the corner table study desk that was in his room into my studio, which actually works quite well, and one day I'll flip it around and I'll show you. So that's become my new sewing table. So I've taken the other sewing table out, which was kind of long. I had a really nice long sewing table here, which was good in some ways, but then other stuff did end up getting on it, and then but this is a kind of like a corner table in the middle of my studio, if that makes any sense. My studio is a very unusual shape. It's not a square room, and it has lots of windows as well, so there's not a lot of wall space in terms of being able to put big shelves and storage space in that you would get if you had just like a normal square room with 3 walls where you could put up lots of storage space. I don't quite have that because like I was saying, I've got big windows and only anyway, it is what it is, and I still haven't found space to put everything. So I have moved my table loom out of the room, still trying to find a good space to put that where it's nice and light so I can use it, because I really do want to start spinning again. No, I don't. I want to start weaving again. And that's about it really. So I'm at a slightly different angle, and I guess I should just start talking about what I've been doing. Okay, so I have finished this jumper. I have not woven in any ends or done anything like that. This, oh gosh, I haven't even got the the bands with it, like the for the wool. All I can say is at the moment you might either have to go back to my, did I say that this is, I think this is episode 63 of Bishopstone Yarns podcast. You might need to go back to episode 62 of the podcast, where hopefully I have talked about this and have the ball bands and everything with this jumper. I don't think I've shown it to you. Maybe I have. I don't know. But it's finished, but I just haven't woven in any ends because I've been so busy in July spinning and I haven't really been into my studio to do anything else. So here it is. This is the Arboreal jumper. I was going to say, is it by Caitlin Hunter? I've got a funny feeling it's by the same person who... This is a Caitlin Hunter jumper. Got a funny feeling that this is a Caitlin Hunter one as well. I have talked about this previously on... Yes, I'll just show it to you. Hold it there and show it to you in all its glory. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I have knitted this before in a blue and white combination. If you want to have a look at that, if you're on Ravelry, go on to Bishopstone and you can find me on Ravelry, and you can find the blue and white one version of this. So I had knitted one for myself previously, and as much as I really liked it, it was snug. I think we could say that. It was snug. And I do know, I do not have the body type to be wearing snug jumpers. When I was younger, I could have got away with it. But, you know, I don't really need to show my extra padding around my tummy and that off to the world. It just doesn't make me feel happy to do that. So I had given that jumper to my daughter, and then found this green in my stash. It's got kind of like green. It's got a kind of like a fleck of yellowy kind of fleck in there as well. It's actually very nice. It's a really nice kind of mix of green and yellow. And the white, of course, was also in my stash. So I think it's turned up well. I haven't blocked this or anything yet, but I really, really like it. Mind you, I did really, really like the blue and white one that I did as well. In terms of the blue was like a denim fleck kind of bluey colour, and that looked really nice. So I might end up making another one of these in a bluey kind of colour as well, somewhere down the track, but not at the moment. So yes, that is my beautiful jumper, which I just need to weave in the ends. Oh, look at them all hanging down here. But yes, I need to weave them in. And, oh gosh, long end there. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a theme actually at the moment, is weaving in ends, because as I had said before, July is all about the spinning. Even though I'm kind of wondering how next year I'm going to do both Tour de Fleece and hopefully Christmas in July. I'll find a way. I'll find a way to get those two things together. So here's, this is a sock that I had knitted a short while ago for my husband. And quite a nice sock, but it ended up with a hole in the heel. Don't ask me how he puts a hole in the heel. I don't know. So what I have done is I have put a little patch on here. Where am I going to put this needle? But I've patched it, but I haven't, of course, sewn in the end. So I'll see if I can kind of show you. So here's the heel. So here's the toe underneath the foot. And here's the heel. So you can see this bit here is the patch. So instead of actually darning it, which I have never actually darned a sock before, and I guess if I had gone onto YouTube and looked at some of the some videos, I would learn how to darn. But for some reason, someone else had suggested to me that I could pick up, because this is a heel flap and gusset jumper. Oh, sorry, I can see my nose ring sticking out there. Sorry, it's a bit strange, isn't it? So I could pick up, because it's just one flap, like this is a knitted separately, I could kind of pull back the whole heel and re-knit the heel, which I thought was quite a good idea, but then I decided I didn't need to knit back the entire heel because it was only in this bit. So what I've done is kind of picked up stitches here along the bottom, picked up stitches along the top, knitted a little, well, an extra flap, I guess, and then as I've knitted it up or down, I have picked up the stitches on the side and put it in. And then I just did when I got down to the bottom, I did like a 3-needle bind off. No, I did a Kitchener stitch. That's what it's called, Kitchener stitch, to put the live stitches and the kind of like extra heel flap onto. The only thing, I don't know how well this is going to work, because what happens is on the inside it looks like a bit of a mess, because we still have some of the old sock here. If you can kind of see, I've got some of these. I might just cut those and sew those ends in, but I still have a little bit. This is a bit of the old bit of the sock where the hole was. The only thing I'm concerned about is if I cut this back, it's going to be too close to the new stitches and it might start to run. Now this heel bit here has started to felt a bit, so I'm kind of thinking that maybe this might felt in a little bit, and then once it's felted for a while and I feel that all the stitches are quite combined, maybe then I could just cut a little bit of that off. Or maybe it won't be a problem. Maybe once you're wearing the sock, it won't be a problem. We will wait and see. But it seemed like, seemed like a waste to throw the whole sock out just because there was a hole in the heel. So we'll see how this goes. It might work. It might not work, or it might just be house socks or something that my husband doesn't need to wear around too much, like, so it's not going to be worn over a long period of time when he's walking lots, so it won't kind of create an issue with his heel. But in terms of the sock, I mean, really, it's not the same yarn that I used. I went looking for, that's why I did have the container out. Oh, you can probably see it up there on the shelf here. I've got a container there of all the little leftover bits of sock yarn, and I was looking for this one, but I ended up getting something similar just to put in there, which is okay because it's on the heel and no one's going to see it. So that is something. I'm going to put that over here with a jumper, so that's something else that needs to just have its little ends sewn in. And still on the theme of socks, you have to forgive me, I've still got a bit of a frog in my throat when I talk too much, which some people might think kind of is good because it'll stop me from talking. I went out to our local department store, kind of like one of those little country town kind of department stores that has a bit of everything in it, and I came across some sock yarn, so I got some more sock yarn for my husband. So I don't know, is that going to be back the front when you see it? It's back the front when I'm looking at it now. But so this is Peyton's Peyton Artistry 4-ply. It's 80% merino, 20% nylon, 100 grams at 375 meters. It is, the shade is Verdure, Verdure mix. Okay, so quite nice. I'm actually kind of tempted to go back and get a different color for myself as well. So this looks pretty good. So this is what it was. It was $16.95, so that was quite good price, I thought. Considering how much you can pay for some of those patterned, well, like these kind of this, to buy a ball of this sock yarn, yeah, can be more expensive than that. So that is a project somewhere down the track to do. I have finished, oh look, here we go again. See, still haven't sewn in the ends of these, but I have finished these. These are a pair of socks that I have knitted for myself. So I'd been organised, I would have, I'm not going to reach back, but I would have got my sock blockers. So this is some wool that I have dyed with cordata, which is a eucalypt. So cordata leaves give me this beautiful, absolutely beautiful colour. This is a really, really shiny kind of sock yarn, so I'm just wondering what actually is in here. I know this is something that I had this sitting as an actual sock blank. So I've got a knitting machine which I very rarely use, and actually I'm thinking about I need to sell my knitting machine because I don't really use it. So I had this as a sock blank, so I knitted this up into a big square ready to dye it that way. But what I did was I ended up just dyeing it one colour in the cordata. And see if I can show you. I still have, so this was 100, I think 100 grams, so I've still got this left over. So I had thought I could do another pair with black, so like some black stripes in it as well. So it's just gorgeous. It's just got this lovely, lovely shine to it. So I don't know what the mix is, but whatever it is, I really, really like it. It's lovely. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with these socks. These are also going to go in my pile over here of things with ends that need to be sewn in. Yep. Okay, and what else? I think there's only one other thing that I've actually really been working on. I was just thinking, have I been doing some sewing? I think I must have done some sewing, but I don't know what. But yes, I have been doing some cross stitch. Oh no, I've got one more knitting thing. Hold on, I'll show you my last knitting project. So with those socks out of the way, I have started a pair of socks here for my youngest son. And so this is a hand-dyed skein. So this was 100 grams of sock yarn. I'm kind of guessing, I think this is probably like an 80-20, so 80% wool, 20% nylon. This would be my guess. And yeah, really nice colours in there. So I've only just started this. I've only just started the better make sure I don't lose my stitches. So I only just started the there we go. And quite liking the colourway. Be interested to see how the colours kind of pan out on this one. But yes, very nice. Very impressed with that. But yes, so I've only just started that one. Right, so cross stitch. I have been, during July, while I have been spinning, I have also been cross stitching each morning. So yes, as I was saying before, I would love to try and combine next year Tour de Fleece which is in July, of course, with Christmas in July. So maybe next year I will do Christmas cross stitch in the morning to try and get through some of the things I've got. But this year I have done Halloween July. Halloween. And so I have got Plum Street's Olga's Autumn Stocking. Well, I'm not going to make the stocking. I'm going to divide those images up into separate ones. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to do all of that as one piece or do like this as one and then that as one, and then these can be separate down here. I don't like the idea of doing a sock. Doesn't really appeal to me, but the other Halloweeny bits, autumn bits, really do. So this is what I have done so far. So I have started with the cat and the pumpkin. And yes, I am just using excuse me, so sorry. I am just using colours from my stash because I do have a lot of embroidery threads. So as you can see, the moon is totally different. I just happen to have the correct colour for the cat. And in the pumpkin, I think it's like it looks like it's a variegated orange, whereas I'm just used a straight colour here. So far so good. I'm quite enjoying this, and I do like a bit of a Halloweeny kind of cute Halloweeny type design. My favourite kind of designs are like some of those primitive cross stitch designs. I really like those. And it is a bit of a shame that our Halloween here in the Southern Hemisphere is not in autumn. Because these are also really good to use, especially the top picture, the picture there of the house and the leaves and the birds. That would make a really nice autumn cross stitch display. So maybe I'll use the top bit as the autumn display, along with maybe the pumpkins down below, these pumpkins here. So this kind of display could also be like an autumn display, and then I just keep this bit here as the Halloween display. That might be how I do it, I think. Sometimes I think I've got a lot more cross stitch pieces than I do when I've come around. Like at Christmas time, I thought, oh, I've got lots and lots of Christmas cross stitch done, and then I realized, oh, I don't really. And yeah, so I'd like to get some of the cross stitch underway, and so I can display those on my little display thing out there. Right, I think that's about it really. I think that's all that I've got up to in July. If I've done some stitching, I can't remember what it is. It's not really jumping out at me at the moment, but I've got some ends to sew in over here, and some socks to knit, some cross stitch to get on with, and I also have my quilt, which I will talk about another time because this new quilt that I've started has been sitting here for a little bit. I need to get back into that as well. Yep, that is it really. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please give me press the thumbs up button, and if you're not subscribed, that'd be great if you'd like to subscribe, and leave me a comment as always. Always love to hear what people might have to say, or any thoughts about anything, thoughts about the jumpers, or my socks, or anything. Yep, and now I'm just going to start waffling, so I'm going to head on off. And then you'll see me again in August. So bye for now. Hi, just to add, as I've made a little mistake when in my video. The jumper that I was showing you is Arboreal, but it is by Jennifer Stainglass. Of course it is. I don't know why I couldn't remember that and why I got it wrong. But, yep, sorry, Jennifer. And this is still an absolutely gorgeous jumper. Yeah, you should pop along and have a look at some of her other designs as well. But, yes, Arboreal by Jennifer Stainglass. Okay, bye.